given that the limit as h tends to 0 of sine h over h is equal to 1, we want to show that d dx of sine x is equal to cos x. Now, note with this one here that it's a quotient, but the limit as h tends to 0 of h is equal to 0. So this is one where the denominator goes to 0. So we would need a different method for that. And that's why we've been given this limit, because we've already done that method, so as to speak. You can actually find that in our lessons on differentiating trig functions. So let's proceed with that. So let's think about what we would be doing here. So we're looking at differentiating sine x. So let's say that this is a part of the sine x curve. And we have a point here on that curve, which is at x sine x. And then a little bit further over, we have a second point, which is at x plus h, sine of x plus h. So we're going to be approximating the gradient of the tangent here by the gradient of this chord. Now clearly the difference in the x's is h, and the difference in the y's is sine of x plus h. So difference in the y coordinates, if you like. Take away sine of x. And so the difference in y divided by the difference in the x, or the gradient, is going to be sine of x plus h, take away sine of x, difference in the y's, divided by the difference in the x's. Now, if you're aware of trigonometric identities, there is an expansion for this one, which is sine x cos h plus cos x sine h. And then we've got the minus sine x on the end. And divide that by h. Now, we're going to split that by taking this term first. So we're going to have cos x sine h over h. And then we're going to have the rest of it, sine x cos h minus sine x divided by h. And so we get cos x sine h on h plus sine x into cos h take away 1 over h. Now, the differential dy dx is the limit as h tends to 0 of delta y over delta x. So, dy dx would be the limit as h tends to 0 of cos x sine h over h plus the limit as h tends to 0 of sine x cos h take away 1 over h. Now, since this is h, the ones that have x can be taken in front. So we're going to have cos x limit as h tends to 0 of sine h over h, and then we'll have sine x limit as h tends to 0 of cos h take away 1 over h. Now, it struck me that back at the beginning we didn't actually address this particular limit, and once again it's one of those where the denominator has a limit of 0. So it does need separate consideration, but we didn't mention it at the beginning. It can be shown that that one goes to 0. So in other words, the whole of this term will be 0. In the beginning, though, we were given that this one went to 1, and therefore dy dx is cos x. And that's why when you differentiate sin x, you get cos x.